Thought it was first day started perfect. Obviously had great weather. Excited about that. I thought the kids would bring some good energy, which is what happened. Just from a fundamental standpoint, we've got 9 practices down. We got 6 in front of us. This week was kind of hump day. During the course of the week, I thought Tuesday they came out with really good energy, good tempo. Had a great corrections from our Saturday scrimmage. Thursday went back off to halfback, made a tremendous stride on Thursday. I thought our guys really began to engage into the process, which is what I think I wanted to try to emphasize today more than anything. Winning is a process. It's obviously they've won games here before and done a lot of really good things, but with our offense, our defense, our special teams, how it's all going to fit together, you can't just jump to the end. It's a process to get to where we need to be. They have to learn first down success, gain 4 on first and keeping the 3 on defense, what that means. So we did 4 sets of that. Then we jumped into third down, long, medium, and short, and try to teach them that they need to have success on third down. That determines whether or not we're on and off the field. Then you jump into a goal line situation, which obviously our offense had a lot of success. First time we scrimmaged it, we lined up to it Thursday in halfback and kind of walked through it, but goal line is a mentality, and I thought our offense really brought it down there and executed. And on the flip side of it, defense, there were some positive things, but there is where we lost leverage on the ball a couple times. We had the ball stopped at the point of attack. The ball bounced out because a couple guys on the edges fall asleep, and then we got a touchdown. So a lot of good learning right there. And then let the 3s jump out there, and we've got some 3s that will move into the 2s. We've got some 2s that might move into 3s, but some guys were very, very clean during that period and jumped into the move the ball segment. I wanted to teach guys, the transition of first downs. Just because you get a first down and you stall out on the second one, we didn't accomplish anything. And to run the guys from the sidelines on first and second string punt, on first and second string field goal, you had a number of guys that forgot they're on the unit, and that's what happens in games early on. So a lot of really good teaching. Anytime you can work that long and come out of here relatively injury-free, I think is a credit to the kids that they've conditioned the right way. They're competing and playing very, very hard. A couple of guys that jumped out, obviously on offense, I think at running back, Jonathan Williams does some really good things at times. He's becoming more of a complete back every day. Would rather he run with his pads down a little bit more, but very good good feel of the game. Nate Holmes is explosive if we can get him in some open space, and I think there's a set of plays for him. At wide receiver, had too many drop balls, but the guys bounced back. I took him, made a special point. Herndon, who I've loved that kid since the first day I met him to where we are today. He gives you everything you want on a football field, works his tail off, does everything we ask him to do. Dropped a critical second and short play out there that was a big hit. We stalled the play. We got stuffed on third down. And then came back and made a play later on third down, which was huge catch on the sideline. So it just showed how a player can bounce back. I pointed out to Jared Collins was a corner, number 29, that probably weighs about 180 pounds if he's wet. And he's going against Morgan Litton out in the open sideline. It's a 1st and 10 play. If he doesn't make that play, it's going to be a big hit. He gets him down at 2nd and 2, and we stalled the drive out. So many teaching points that go beyond probably what you even want to hear. But just really excited about this group. We've got 6 practices left, and we'll maximize every day. Defensively, I thought we were a little slow out of the gate. They've got a tremendous amount of talent over there. Certain guys, in my opinion, are very, very gifted football players, but they got to learn the first snap is just as important as the 60th snap. So we got to wake up and play a little bit better at the beginning of those practices. So we'll go from there. I'll open it up for questions.
What about Hurd and Hatcher? Are they okay?
Yeah, they are. Herndon obviously came back out there, and I knew he wanted to get out there as bad as anything. Hatcher got, as soon as I walked over there, it's one of those guys who just knocked his wind out from underneath, knocked his wind out from him and bounced back. And both those kids, I think they really got a chance to be exceptional. Obviously Herndon in his last year, but Hatcher, when I found out he was a young kid after that first workout, I was very excited.
What made you decide to open it up to the public today? And the pregame music, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think 2 things. First, I meant it when I said it. One thing you guys are going to learn about me, Grandma always said, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember what you said. I really just felt at the beginning phases of this development of our program and working with our kids, I wanted to work with them in an environment was us and them. We could correct off film and we can, talk to the media, but I didn't really want to hear a bunch of people's opinions about what was going on until I felt good about the product. So started thinking about it a couple weeks ago. Before we even started, I knew I'd open up one, just to give everybody a chance to come in and see what we're talking about. Plus, it energizes kids. I knew you know, getting through the hump week here, we had to bring a little bit of energy, and then the good man upstairs worked out with some weather, and you know, our kids were pumped and excited about it, and hopefully gave everybody a good little show. I was going to do it from Wednesday forward, but I also didn't want, you know, 15,000 people. I thought if I let it out too early, we might get too crazy, and I was worried about the weather coming in, because if we had to go inside, we couldn't have done it. So that was the main driving force.
David Hurd went out, you brought Chris Stringer in on that other tackle. How did you think he did?
You know what, did okay. And String actually, to his testament, injured his MCL, I believe his MCL, a little bit on Saturday, and thought he might be out for 1 or 2 weeks, and was back out there. Another one, Mitchell Lavin, was a kid that hurt himself last Saturday. They told us he wasn't going to be back in spring ball. We didn't let him rep in the scrimmage today, but we'll get good work out of him the next 2 weeks. So really, really excited about those guys.
Where do you think your quarterbacks are after so many practices now with 6 to go?
You know, it's kind of been one day good, one day kind of come back a little bit, and today I thought Brandon Allen kind of moved forward the whole day. There's just some urgency he needs to get. I was all over his tail. There was a snap where we had a positive 3rd and short, but our wide receiver wasn't quite lined up, and an itchy official could have flagged us there. And I just said, hey, it's your responsibility. He's got to dictate those other 10 guys that are in control. And be very aware of all that situation. He can do it. Brandon Mitchell continued to impress me. Just he's got a gamesmanship to him. You know, he's got a little rhythm. He's got a little fire in him. He's a great competitor. I thought AJ Derby came in and did some good things today. You know, and those guys have all made progress. Jim Chaney's an excellent football coach, and the more reps and the more time, they got to be junkies. You know, quarterbacks got to be those guys that are always the last out of here and always asking to do more, and I think we're getting that culture more and more.
So AJ Turner out there for a little bit.
What's
AJ
that?
Turner with his
Yeah,
cast.
he AJ unfortunately broke a bone in his wrist. That's why he's got that cast on, and you know, is limited in that effect. But I've also asked him to do certain things away from the game to get that shored up a little bit, just to make sure that we're on track with what we need to do. So, you know, I don't know how many reps he got today. I know he's very limited.
Did Austin Jones kind of improve his style?
He has. I've been impressed with Austin. Austin Jones is obviously what he is. He kind of reminds me of a guy that's just always in the right place. He's very smart. He's got some good instincts. I think you can put him in he probably could play all 3 positions, probably more Sam and Mike than anything, but extremely intelligent. He's been coached very, very well. He's taken to Coach Shannon, I think, particularly well, and has made a couple nice plays. I think it was on Tuesday. He had a interception return for a touchdown. So just kind of one of those guys that's always in the right spot at the right time.
Line of scrimmage still seems to be kind of advantage defense.
Yeah, you know, at times though, but when the offense was rolling, and obviously down there on the goal line, they won that. I think offensively, the biggest thing that we had to install when we got here is just there wasn't a lot of plays as you look back at it, a power football downhill, knocking guys off. And talking with Coach Herbert, and a major emphasis for our strength and conditioning during the 8-week winter conditioning process was lower body strength and just being able to move people off the line of scrimmage and the offensive line. And that's coming day by day. You know, some plays more than other, but I'm probably excited about that one element more than anything.
Tell what injury specifically with David Hurd?
David, yeah, he actually came back in for a series. It was you know, just a slight injury to the knee, but he came back in and played, and he actually went back out, but he shouldn't be out very long.
Kiro Small the ball a few times today. He even lined him up some at tailback. How much do you think he can help in the run game carrying the ball?
I think he will. First, he brings an attitude to our offense that you can't put a price tag on. He plays extremely low to the ground. He's extremely powerful. He's got a big ass, you know, and in football that's a good thing. And just, I think we put him in a goal line scrimmage last Saturday, first time we did it, and give it a cute little name. I think it's 21 Bam or 22 Bam. It's him and a Renz, you know, and together they probably weigh as much as our right guard and right tackle. But just brings a little something to us, and Kiro made a nice play last Saturday down the goal line that kind of just woke everybody up, and so we've continued to grow that package. It's something that I'm very excited about, and he's very talented at it.
Phylon made a couple plays, you know,
Yeah.
dropping. What you thought of him?
Very excited about Darius Phylon. He's, you know, kind of went through some trials and tribulations during our first couple months together. He's persevered. Very, very excited about the progress he's made. I love him. He's got a great look in his eye, great energy, very gifted athlete. Today he got more reps than he had. He kind of had to earn his way back with us a little bit, and has proven to me, proven to our coaches, I think hopefully proven to his teammates he's here to do the right things and compete at an SEC level, and I think he's going to do nothing but continue to grow.
To me, like Williams, every time he got hit, might get another 2 or 3 yards after
Yeah.
the contact. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, and you know, Coach Thomas has a chart that he really believes in. That's kind of made him into a great running back coach during his career. It's just yaks. You know, how many yaks are expected in a game, and how many yaks after a touch. And I know it was a major point of emphasis during our week of preparation for this Saturday, and it really showed up today. Even Nate Holmes got some positives. Lorenz had a nice run. You know, so there's some definite emphasis there that's coming through.
Couple more guys. Have you been playing that music? Tom asked you about the music, but you didn't answer. Have you been playing that for other practices? I know you're coming.
No, I was beating up our video coordinator, Matt Engelbert. When I first got here, I walked into my head coach's office, and it was early morning that first day, and I like light music and air, and it was dark office. There was no music set up, and there was no vented window, and it was just like I was like in a tomb, you know. So I took a cardboard box, propped open the door, and I asked the video people to get me some type of music, and brought in a lamp from my desk. And when they did that, the video at that time, Andy put like 18 to 20 songs on my iPod. He knew I liked reggae. He'd researched that or whatever, and I was beating him up because the other day I was here late last night, and I wanted some music, and I've been listening to those same 18 songs since December, every day. I'm like the most inept computer challenged person. I don't know what iTunes. I've heard it. I don't know what that means. You know, I've never bought an app in my life. I don't know what that means. So last night, Matt Engelbert brought down his iPad. He goes, "Here's 188 of my favorite tunes." He goes, "Tell me which ones you don't like." I'm on 128, and I haven't found one I liked. And so that's what they're going to hook up. And I said, "Go grab my iPod off my desk." I go, "I know there's 18 great jams on there." So that's how it happened. That happened about 5 minutes before practice today. But it was kind of neat out there with the sun and the beat. But I run into some kids love music. It kind of gets them popping a little bit, and that's the only reason you do it. But, you know, somebody wants rock, somebody wants, you know, a rap, somebody's going to want country, somebody's going to want gospel. I mean, so you got to blend it. But today was my mix. We'll figure it out from here. Seemed to put everybody in a good mood. I was in a good mood.
What's your take on the linebackers, particularly middle linebacker?
Yeah, you know, Atiga, Lake, Otha's worked in there a little bit. I've been very impressed with Lake and Atiga that they just continue to grow. Probably, you know, as we get offenses that spread us out a little bit, you might change your personnel a little bit. There was, you know, at times in the past when Chris and I and Charlie were together at Wisconsin, for instance, we played Hawaii, which was a team that ran 10 personnel or 11 personnel the whole game. We played nickel 82 reps. We never put our base defense out there. In the last several years, when we've played a lot of spread teams, we've never, you know, even played our base defense. So it's going to be dictated by that. But I think Lake and Atiga both can give you really good reps against an offense like ours, 12, 21, 22, 23 personnel. But that's a position that's going to continue to grow. I think Lake has been a steady contributor all the way through. And Braylon Mitchell, I got so many Mitchells. I got like 17 Mitchells, 34. I forget which one it is, but it's Mitchell. Braylon, he has been a very, the last 2 weeks has been a guy that's been on a steady climb every day and really just does a lot of nice things to be in the right spots. Otha continues to, there's just something in him. As long as I've been coaching linebackers, the first time I saw that kid move, the first time I saw him work out, there's something that I really, really like about him, and trying to get him really to be square on what we're asking him to do.
Did you get a sense for Jim Chaney's sense of humor before you hired him?
Yeah, Jim Chaney and I met my rookie year as a football coach. I believe it was 1994, and he was in charge of. We used to have an assistant coaches weekend that we get together and play golf in the Big Ten Conference. No head coaches were allowed, and Jim was in charge, and I think I helped him move a beer cooler, our conversation started. He made me laugh. I heard him give a clinician talk. The next year, he's a guy that I've always been intrigued with. Flirted around with him a little bit at Wisconsin the last couple times. I've had to hire a coordinator, and just happy that it came full circle this year. You guys have been around Jim, but also Sam. From a chemistry standpoint of what I've got going on in my staff room, has been unprecedented for anything that I've been a part of. Just the way that they interact with one another, offense, defense, special teams. It's an exciting room to be around. Or to combine that with 90+ players that I think they've felt a transition of how they're treated, how they're handled, how we like to have a little bit of fun, and on the same account, reward. I don't know if you understand this, but from a head coaching perspective, the only guy that's been in that shoes has been Randy Shannon. And before we came in and met with you, I've been going since about the third reggae song. I've had to go to the bathroom. So before I came in here and met you, I ran up to the locker room here to relieve myself. And Randy was the only one in there. And I said, Randy, and he goes, Coach, to work that long and not have one significant injury or one significant unpleasant situation out there, that doesn't just happen. That's a group of young men that are really dedicated on becoming better, and a group of coaches that want nothing to do that as well. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, one more.
What do you like competition between offense and defense? You like to set it up. How has that been this spring? How
As you guys know, we have not done any 1s, 2s. It's all 1s, 1s, 2s, 2s. I think the great thing that comes out of competing against the best there is you truly get better. And I think that at certain matchups offensively, you have if I'm a right tackle or a left offensive tackle, I'm going against two SEC defensive ends that are pretty good, that are good football players on a daily basis. That can only help you get better. Inside, Swanson, I've been around a lot of really good offensive linemen. I've been around exceptional players. I had a center 2 years ago that left early after his junior year and was a second-round pick to the Falcons. And this year, my center from Wisconsin has declared early an indication that he's going to be an early draft pick. I think Travis Swanson is potentially probably better than both of those guys could be. Just his football awareness, he's gifted at the center position like you want to be. He's a 6'4", 6'5" athlete that can run. We put in some perimeter plays that really showcase his athleticism. Every person looks at him with the greatest amount of respect. So when he's going against Robert Thomas and Byron Jones and all those guys, it's been nothing but an uphill climb. So I think those things are really positive. So thank you very much.